This is Domestic Briefing right here on Top Accolade News. We're starting with a focus on politics. A deep rift within the opposition People's Democratic Party has erupted into public view, pitting the party's national leadership and its governors against a powerful faction led by Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike, while governors and party chairmen inaugurated a planning committee for a November elective convention in Ibadan, vowing to proceed with the event and discipline those undermining the party. Wike's camp issued a stark counter-warning that any convention held without meeting their demands, including no micro-zoning of the chairmanship and new congresses in several states, will be invalid. This escalating standoff threatens to fracture the main opposition party as it prepares for the 2027 elections. Still in politics, Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike has granted a 30-day grace period for property owners who have illegally converted land use in Abuja, requiring them to revert to original purposes and pay a 5 million naira penalty plus 7.5% of their property assets value after a committee revealed that violations in high-brow areas like Ademola Adetokunbo and Aminu Kanu Crescent have accumulated a staggering 1.03 trillion naira in capital value. Warning that the government is determined to raise revenue for projects, Wike stated that non-compliant owners will face property sealing, demolition or outright revocation of titles, emphasizing that designated residential and commercial zone must be respected to maintain the capital's master plan and prevent further unauthorized development. Now in energy, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has directed power distribution companies to treat state regulators with respect and improve collaboration following repeated clashes over who controls electricity tariffs. At a quarterly meeting in Lagos, NEC Vice Chairman Musili Useni urged discos to foster open communication and transparency with state authorities, while also advising state regulators to focus on developing their electricity markets rather than relying on federal subsidies. This intervention comes as a growing standoff between states and discos over tariff setting powers threatens to disrupt the sector's stability, with both sides refusing to concede authorities despite the new Electricity Act provision for state-level regulation. Now in economy, the federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening ties with the Islamic Development Bank to fund critical infrastructure and transformative development projects, with the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, stating that Nigeria continues to honor its financial obligation to lenders despite significant physical constraints. During a high-level meeting with an ISDB delegation, Edun praised the bank as a steadfast ally whose projects in sectors like education, healthcare and agriculture serve as lifelines for communities, while the Minister of Work highlighted the strategic prioritization of major economic corridors such as the Ilela-Lagos-Sokoto-Badagry Highway to boost regional trade and connectivity under the administration's renewed hope agenda. Now in aviation, the Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Captain Chris Najoma, has urgently called for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to intervene in a surge of fraudulent activities plaguing the aviation sector, warning that these practices directly threaten safety, economic regulation, and investor confidence. During a meeting with EFCC Chairman Ola Olukoyade, Najomi highlighted critical vulnerabilities in high-value transactions like aircraft purchase and leasing deals, while raising the alarm over airlines deliberately under-reporting revenues and withholding mandatory 5% ticket and cargo sales charges, a key sector of funding for safety oversight which severely hampers the NCCA's regulatory capacity and necessitates anti-graft intervention to uncover and halt financial sabotage and money laundering within the industry. Now in education, lawmakers in the National Assembly have issued a strong caution to the West African Examination Council over its plan to introduce a computer-based test for the senior school certificate exam by 2026, warning that Nigeria's severe digital divide and infrastructural deficit could lead to a catastrophic glitch that jeopardizes the future of millions of students. While commending the initiative's intent to curb malpractice, senators and representatives expressed deep concerns about the lack of computer literacy in rural areas, unreliable electricity and insufficient CBT centers, urging WAEC to adopt a hybrid model that combines both computer-based and traditional paper tests to ensure no student is disadvantaged by their background or location. In response, WAEC officials and the Education Minister assured stakeholders that a phased approach is being implemented, that the centers are being mapped in every local government to guarantee accessibility and fairness. Now in health, the Nigerian medical community is mourning and raising urgent alarms after Dr. Oluwafemi Rotifa, a young resident doctor at Rivers State University Teaching Hospital, collapsed and died after an exhausting 72 hours continuous call duty. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors confirmed the tragedy, describing it as a preventable death that starkly reflects the nation's collapsing healthcare system, where a massive brain drain has left remaining doctors overworked, underpaid, and forced to cover unsustainable shifts. NERD and the Nigerian Medical Association are calling for immediate government action to address critical staff shortages, enforce humane work schedules, and improve welfare, warning that the physical and mental burnout of doctors not only endangers their life but also severely compromises patient safety and care quality across the country. That is the domestic news update. For now, not to Accolade News. Do stay with us for more domestic updates and development. I am Blessing Bassey.